Hi, I'm Shelby Williams with Plano City Council, Place 5. Tonight is the December 17th City Council recap, the last of this year. Now first, I'll get to why I'm wearing this in a moment, but I'll get to everything else. But first, we had our preliminary open meeting. We discussed the comprehensive monthly financial report. We are firing on all cylinders, and we had a significant increase in the hotel tax over the last year. Neighborhood Services gave their departmental report. There's wonderful things to report here. The Love Where You Live program had 45 home projects, 1,100 volunteers, and removed 53 tons of trash and debris. That's enormous. And the point-in-time homeless count within the city, volunteer-driven, is coming up on January 23rd. Plano Cares will have company with new volunteer initiatives. The Good Neighbor Volunteer Program. Now, if you want to get involved as a volunteer in Plano to make this a better community, just Google, or otherwise search, I prefer Google, volunteers in Plano. And we also reviewed the property maintenance workshops that are available citywide for our citizens. Then we had the DART quarterly report, the 2019 totals. Ridership, which I believe is counted just per ride through 2019 for buses, were a little over 1 million, and for light rail, the DART rail, around 1.8 million. Plano senior rides, which are essentially vouchers for cab rides through the city, reached around 3,500 for the entire year, and that is increasing. The popularity of this is gaining considerably across 2019. And GoLink service expanded right around from West Plano and around the Legacy Corridor where it originated, all the way over to 75 in East Plano in the northern part, central northern part of the city. There are explorations to extend that into East Plano and the rest of Plano as well. It's also gaining in ridership. Now, what's important to understand about DART within Plano is that DART in Plano, or DART is funded in Plano by 1% of our sales tax. So that goes to DART regardless. If 0 people ride DART, then 1% of our city's sales tax still goes to DART contractually. So the more people can ride DART and take advantage of its services, and there's also a partnership with GoLink with Uberpool, by the way. So they're trying to gain efficiency, gain ridership, and make it more useful throughout the city. We don't get charged anymore for that as a city. We just get more efficient use of your sales tax revenue, that 1%. So then we moved into the regular meeting. We had the invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the Men of Notes sang a couple of songs for us. And that brought us to the reason for this hat, which many of you know was the challenge that I issued for charity just about a week ago. Now, the challenge was that if we raised a certain amount of money for charity, I'd wear the Santa hat the entire meeting. We hit that threshold. The highest bar for $10,000 for charity was, if we hit that threshold, I would open the meeting singing the national anthem. We did not hit that threshold, not this year at least. However, I also got sick late last week and lost my voice over the weekend. You can probably tell it's a little scratchy still, but recovered enough. And since we were posted on the agenda, and it was a fantastic opportunity to plug the 4 local charities for which we're raising money: the North Texas Food Bank, Boys and Girls Club of Collin County, My Possibilities, and Samaritan Inn. All fantastic local nonprofits, all local, and all need your help. So we're raising money and promoting awareness for them. And so because we weren't going to Grinch out at the last second, myself, joined by Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Rick Udelli and Councilwoman Maria Tu, we got up there and we sang the national anthem, and everybody joined in. So you can go watch that on the recording of tonight's meeting. It's around 7:15 p.m., 15 minutes into the regular meeting. So my thanks to them for singing, and Councilman Rick Grady got in on the action as well by wearing his Santa hat through the meeting as well. So thanks to all of you. And I very much look forward to seeing what this council can do for next holiday season with more runway. This came about very last minute, under just a week ago, inspired by my daughter Olivia and enhanced by my daughter Valerie. So thanks to you girls as well. So then we passed the consent agenda, in which were 3 economic development items, which totaled about 1,400 new jobs to Plano. We discussed these, of course, previously as a council, and they were all approved. We reviewed them in the consent agenda before the meeting tonight. We knew it was coming, and we are happy to welcome these companies to Plano, as well as the expansion of one of the companies. And we had Paragon Healthcare join us tonight, who's one of the new relocations to Plano. They specialize in specialty infusions, like IVs, et cetera, for people at home, so they don't have to go to the hospital. Big welcome to Plano for Paragon Healthcare. Then we passed an ordinance of necessity. What this is one of the steps in the eminent domain process, whereby the council has to approve the whole process. We have to authorize the eventual taking of land specifically for expanding our roads. It's for roadway work. Some of them are just temporary easements that are required to expand our roadways. But this all has to do with just easements. This particular item all had to do with easements that we were looking at in order to facilitate construction and expansion of our roadways. And then finally, we passed a resolution authorizing a public hearing on a PID, which is a public improvement district, on January 13th. Now, a PID, a public improvement district, is a geographically defined region within which properties are assessed an additional, call it a tax, because that's what it is, an additional tax to finance improvements that accrue to the benefit just of the properties within that district. So unlike a citywide property assessment, or even a countywide for Collin County and Denton County, these are for public improvements where nobody else is really going to benefit. It's just the people within that district that are going to benefit, and so they are the ones who shoulder the burden of the cost, but it is a cost over time because the benefits of that aren't going to be realized all at once. So that wrapped up tonight's council meeting. I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. We will see you again next year for a bright new year full of the City of Excellence. Thank you very much. Good night.